28th to order at 5:30. The second item is discuss, possibly approve the minutes of the January 13th special meeting. Has everybody had an opportunity to review those minutes?
Yes.
Yes.
Is there any discussion? Do I have a motion to approve the minutes of January 13th?
I make a motion to approve the minutes. for
We've got a
January
first, a second?
Second.
Second, all those in favor?
13th. Aye.
Aye.
Okay, next, discuss possibly recommend council action regarding grant application from Lake Area Softball Association in the amount of $5,000. And, are you Canberra? Okay. I will let you come forward. Has everybody had an opportunity to review this application? Do you want to kind of just describe the application to us and what, we've had applications from the Softball Association numerous times before, and I take it it's under another reorganization, is that correct?
Everybody's fresh.
Okay, so if you'll just kind of explain where you are and where the association is and everything.
Okay. So I've just joined the board probably maybe a month and a half ago. There's 2 other members that have been on less than 3 weeks. The other member's been on since the fall. There's been some past members since I've been on that were not being productive. We've since got rid of them. We're trying to make a difference. We're trying to do the right things. It's just, as you guys know, there's a lot of people that don't want to commit themselves to do something. So what this application is for, I tried to write a summary of what it was in the project summary, but I'll just kind of state it. The concession stand building out there, which is the only building within those 3 fields, the bottom was put up with cinder blocks, so it is, I feel like, probably pretty sound. I don't think that is the issue. Upstairs, I'm assuming, was added on after the fact, and they have 2 big bay windows in there. Those windows have been replaced at some point, and if caulking was put in, the caulking started leaking. I'm assuming caulking was put in, but if it wasn't, then I don't really know the history of it. But anyways, the windows started leaking and have rotted underneath those big bay windows, and it has leaked into the floor. The contractor I had come out said that those floor joists will probably have to be scabbed on at a certain point. So we're going to have to replace what's in the wall and then coming out from underneath the wall. I don't know how far we're going to have to go until we actually start tearing it apart. I didn't want the contractor to dig too much into it because we're playing games right now, and the concession stand, we're using it underneath that area. So I didn't want to get into something and figure out it was a major ordeal. So I just had him give me a quote for what he thought it was going to be. The quote he gave me was $4,816.49. I've added another $1,000 to that for our match amount. What we would like to do with our match amount is paint the outside of that concession stand, obviously paint the inside after renovation's done. We're also going to paint, while we have the paint out, we're going to finish painting the bleachers, redo the bleachers, and we're also going to fix up the bathrooms at the same time with our own money. The bathrooms need to be repainted. They need to have some kind of slip-resistant epoxy put on the floor. So that is kind of what my tentative plan is to do with our match money.
How much money do you all have presently?
Around $12,000 right now.
Okay.
And I did make off some items that we would like to do in the future. Do you guys want a copy of that?
Sure. Thank you. Thank you. Now, do I understand that you all have tournaments during the summer that generate funds? No?
I that is our plan. That is our projected goal. As of right now, we do not have anything scheduled for this year. The board has visited about maybe having some stuff in June once our league gets done. Our league will be done, should be the second week of June. That is our ultimate goal, is to bring tournaments to this complex.
Okay.
What kind of teams, are there local teams in your league or from out of town?
Both. We got, well, so what we do is we co-op with Claremore and Adair. So we play at all three facilities. All three teams will come to Pryor. We have game nights Mondays and Tuesdays only, and 3 or 4 fields are used at a time. We are using the church field, one of the church fields this year, just because we needed another field. There's probably the teams that actually are saying they're out of Pryor. There's probably 10 teams that are registered out of the Pryor. You know, that may be a Salina team paying registration in Pryor, a Shoto team paying registration in Pryor, but Pryor is Locust Grove, Shoto, Inola, and Salina are home base is Pryor at this point. And I can elaborate. If you guys have any questions, I'm happy to answer questions. I'm not really sure how this works or what your board, you know, I would kind of like just a rough summary of what you guys are, you know, where this money comes from, and just because I have no idea. I don't know if somebody can give me kind of a rundown of what your board does.
A quick synopsis of it is basically a hotel motel board is allocated so much money per year based on hotel motel tax dollar revenue the previous year.
Okay.
So our year is getting ready to end June 30th. And then it usually takes, Darla, 3 months or so before
It's usually the
we
middle
have-
of August at least before
Usually about the middle of August, we'll have what the amount of money hotel motel has to allocate for the next year, which would be 2022-23.
Okay.
Okay? Then there's an application process that normally starts about the middle of August to the first part of September, where there are certain organizations that get a percentage off the top of that. But I can tell you that last year totally, 109,000 was the amount of money the Hotel Motel Tax Board had to allocate for the 2021-22 year.
Okay.
Madam Chairman, I can help you with some of those.
Okay,
If-
sure, I was just giving you a real brief.
Yes. So last year, $80,498 was budgeted. So to date, we have spent, as far as revenue over expenses, we are $15,000 in the hole, revenue over expenses. But we have a balance in the bank of $91,605. And so we're whole based, even though our revenue over expenses for the budget year is $15,000 in the hole, we still have $91,605 in the bank today. When Canberra came in to see me and wanted to talk to me about how the city might be able to help, I recommended the Hotel Motel Tax Allocation Board because of the definition of what we do. Normally, we support the things that potentially bring revenues into the city, which the softball does that because it brings people in from out of town. They eat at our restaurants, and sometimes they sleep in our hotels. So, because we had those funds in the bank, I thought it would be appropriate to ask to at least have her to come talk to the board about an amount. She asked me, how much should I ask for? So I looked at some of the things that they were wanting to do, and I said, well, probably at this late in the year, maybe $5,000 would be appropriate. So that's kind of the history of why she is here this late in the year. So although this $5,000 was not budgeted to spend, we do have the funds in the bank, perhaps to be able to grant that.
Now, according to our little spreadsheet that Darla provides us, it's 14,443
Yeah,
that
Well,
we have.
in our
The
account.
20% of grant
Right.
allocations, which is what this board oversees,
Right.
that's the amount that we have available left to
everything
spend,
else has been paid
to
out.
allocate.
Right.
Everything else has been removed at this point in
Correct.
time.
So this is the balance sheet.
Okay. Gotcha.
And so that these monies accumulate over time.
Right.
And we bank these monies. And we hold them in reserves. And then we budget based on what we feel like is appropriate for 10%.
But we have the liberty of the 14,000,
Correct.
Correct.
correct?
Correct.
That's what it's been allocated to us.
Right, for this fiscal year, yes.
Right.
So I have a question. Of the facilities that are traveled, which is Pryor one of the middle of the pack, or were our facilities are on the lower end or the upper end of the other facilities?
Of the three, I would
Yeah.
say we're on the lowest end.
Yeah.
By a long shot, or?
Adair's got a pretty new complex,
Okay,
just right south of town. They have a baseball and softball complex put together.
okay,
Claremore has their own facility there at Pecan Park.
right.
And I'm not sure how old that facility is because I remember playing there as a kid, but they've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 fields there. And
And it's fairly well maintained and
yes.
whatnot? Okay.
I think because I have history on this board, being on and off of it over so many years, one of the things that I have seen, and maybe Scott has seen it also, is we have had numerous applications from the softball organization. And I think the problem is that kids play, they leave, the parents aren't involved anymore, and they move on. So it's always like there's a new set of people coming in to deal with old problems that they have. Is the concessions your biggest need right now? The concession stand? Or is that just something that needs to be fixed?
I would say the concession stands are the fence. The fence is in really bad shape. The posts, some of the posts are almost rotted into. You know, the chain link is sucked in or pulled out one way or the other. That is our two biggest concerns right now. If we can get the concession stand from the outside, you wouldn't know that there's a maintenance problem on the inside. But the fences for people coming in, you know, that is, I would say, a major drawback to that.
So how do you plan on addressing $67,000 in fencing?
One bite at a time, I guess. I'm not sure what else to do. I don't have a clue, to be honest.
How many people come in and out of Pryor as a result of this league, and on an estimate?
You know, say on a given night, if there's just three teams playing, because we play double headers, like say I'm coaching my daughter's 6 and under team. We play t-ball on Tuesday night at Pryor. We're playing double headers, so we're going to have 6 teams there. You know, I would assume there's going to be 12 people on each team, probably, give or take a little bit. So I would think you're going to have at least, you know,
At least one parent, perhaps,
at
for
least,
each.
yeah. You
at
know, if
least.
not, 2 sets of grandparents. You know, it could range from 25 people to 75 people for each team. And then, like I said, we just play on Monday and Tuesday night. One of those nights we'll play for, have 2 extra teams there a night.
So I'm kind of confused on the application. It looks like you're looking at $5,816.46, and you said the 4,000 and change for that plus the 1,000. On the next page, we're talking about a total project revenues of $14,000.
And to be honest, I didn't really know that. I don't really understand what that question means.
Okay.
That is my estimated projection for the whole season.
Your projected what, revenue?
Uh-huh.
And how's that generated?
That's concession, gate, and registration.
Okay.
What are your other plans to generate revenue for your organization? Do you have any other, such as advertising businesses, maybe banners, things like that?
Yeah, we just started that this year.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you do have plans, that's potentially where you're going to come up with the 67,000 for fencing and.
Right, yeah. We just started that this year. The people that were on the board to begin with this season said, hey, each team needs to bring 3 banners to the table. A banner's $250, and you can keep it up, obviously, all season. My team was the only one that brought any banners to the table. It's not just the board that's not committed. It's everybody wants to show up and not do anything, so.
How active is this board? I mean, would you say, now that you've kind of turned over a new leaf, I mean, how?
Well, she's
What
only
is
been
the-
on it for 2 months.
Right, but I mean,
So-
like, the enthusiasm to see these projects through, to see this through, what is the level of enthusiasm? Because, if
Is
you
it a
have
raw
six-
or a rah-rah?
I mean, if we don't do it, it's gonna die. I'll just be honest.
Sure.
I mean, it's do or die now, I feel like.
Well, I mean, with 6 teams of 12 individuals, 1.5 people per player to watch on average, that's 108 people per night that's coming through Pryor. I don't think, and you could probably say half of those individuals eat out at our places. Do you have tournaments that go overnight or go over the weekend or anything like that?
Currently, we do not. That
Okay.
is our plan. In June, we hope to have at least 1 tournament.
Okay, so there would be some overnight stays in hotels and
I
things
would
like
assume
that.
so. It will be a Friday and Saturday night tournament.
Okay, okay.
Okay. Thank you. Any more
Yeah, thank you,
questions
guys.
before
I'm satisfied.
Okay. Okay, so we have on the table right now a motion from the Lake Area Softball Association in the amount of $5,000. Do I have a motion?
I actually make a motion to increase that to about $7,000 with the contention that everything that they do, we get invoices for,
Oh, yeah.
so that they can get this done and get make sure the painting and some other things they can do in order to improve make the next step. That's my recommendation.
So are you making that motion?
Yeah, that's what I'm going for.
75 or 7? Did he say 7?
He said
said seven.
7.
He said like maybe 7.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
You can make it more if you'd like.
Right.
Well, I mean, I didn't know if that's the amount you were looking at.
that's where I was looking at.
Okay.
Making a motion for $7,500.
75?
I will second that.
Do I hear 8? Okay, now, before I go any further, will she need to have 3 bids for the paint? Or, because we're kind of going a little bit out of order. Because normally we have the bids attached to the application. So I just want to know,
It would be appropriate to have the bid, to have the prices, yes, the bids.
And I think she's got you have
I have a single bid.
a single bid, so if she needs to, Yeah, so if she
Okay.
needs to get a couple more to.
So if you,
comparison.
okay, so let us continue on and then
Okay.
move on. Okay, sorry.
Yeah.
So we have a motion for $7,500. Do I have a second?
Second.
Eric seconds it. All those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Okay, so it looks like we have awarded $7,500 to the Lake Area Softball Association. You will need to submit 2 more bids for the paint with the application to Darla. And then that will meet our needs that we need for it to proceed on to approval from the council.
Can can they look at more items or expanding on the items that are already listed to go up to the 7,500 and get the different bids? And be included in that?
Yeah.
You understand that?
No, sir.
Okay. So right now, you have a bid for $4,800, okay? You have to get 2 more bids. However, we're looking at providing you $7,500. So I want you to look into other things that you can do with those same 3 people, figuring out what you can do and getting estimates and bids for those. And then you have that extra money in order to get things like the inside of the bay, the first floor done, those other kind of things that you want to do.
And she mentioned the bathrooms and
Right,
stuff
the
like that.
bathrooms.
So
Yeah,
she can-
bathrooms.
She can get the bids for the bathrooms and stuff as well and add that to it, and I'm sure that would
Right.
add up pretty fast.
Now, can we do any of the work ourselves, or all need to be contracted out?
This is, it depends if you want to save money. I mean, you can do what is called in-kind contribution, where your time, you put a value on your time and you all can pay instead of hiring somebody. That is how these organizations typically do it. Instead of hiring somebody out to save some of the cost, is to do it yourself.
The more you can stretch these dollars
Yeah.
is the best.
If you guys are willing to paint and we supply the paint, then you can do something else with the additional funds that you wouldn't be able to do if you paid somebody to paint.
Okay. So let me ask you this, if the association agreed to fix the concession stand on our own, could we use your money to fix one of the fences?
No,
No,
Okay,
that's what this money is for.
okay.
nope.
And beautification, that kind of stuff that you would want to do around the concession stand. And then maybe use that's a part of the 12,000 to do some of the fence repair.
Right.
That you would have obligated to or maybe that $1,000 that you were going to pitch in, you could put that towards the fences or something,
Okay, so your money needs to stay in the concession stand building? Okay.
in and around, correct?
Okay.
Okay, and make sure you put on your calendar, because the middle of August, to contact Darla to see if the applications are available yet for the next year.
Okay.
Okay? And be thinking about what you all from your list might like to apply for next year.
So at that time, we could come and ask for the money to do one fall fence?
If that was your greatest need,
Right, yes.
yeah.
Okay,
And
Now,
you'd
the
have
3 of us
estimates.
will be off this board, but Amy will still be here, and Steve Eric,
Arik.
sitting back there, will be on the board.
Okay.
So you've got some contact people there also.
It'd be good to get those 3 recommendations when you turn that packet in as well. So then you have,
prior to turning this
when
back.
you turn the next packet,
I get you, okay.
and then have everything, and then this is what you've already done.
Okay.
Anytime you ask for something, whether or not, let's say you're fencing, for instance, you're going to have 3 quotes.
Okay.
Okay, moving on. Review,
Vote.
oh, I thought we did.
Did we vote? I circled it. Maybe I'm just ready to go home.
We
Oh,
vote-
we can vote again?
No,
We've-
it's okay.
We vote.
Everybody said aye.
Yeah.
Yeah, we all said
I was
aye.
not paying attention. I was testing you.
Uh-huh.
How do I need to turn this stuff in? Okay,
Send it to me. You can
just all the
Yeah.
receipts I have.
Yeah.
And we pay for it up front.
Yeah.
And you guys will reimburse us.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, and you and I can get together on that, and I can explain the
Okay,
process and all that stuff. You can email me or call me anytime.
Okay.
I would make sure, when you get your list of what everything's gonna do, I would let Darla look at it first before you do anything, and then you know everything's done.
Okay.
Okay?
Thank you guys very much. We appreciate it.
Well, thank you for stepping up to the plate and,
Literally.
Thank you. Okay, number 4, review of board terms and requirements. Mr. Mayor?
So I thought it would be appropriate just to add that on your agenda because 3 of you are rotating off. So the original ordinance does state that, that we don't reappoint, we leave the board. We can come back on the board like Scott has done, and maybe you have done several times. So that's the reason why we have 3 going off and we have 4 coming on. So I just wanted to review that, and also thank you so much for your service. We really appreciate it on behalf of the citizens. Thank you for your service.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Have any questions for me about any of that? Okay.
So we don't need to schedule another meeting because we're not going to be here.
We ought to do it Christmas Eve.
Would you?
Yes.
We'll have it at your house.
Yes. Yes.
We'll have it at your house.
Hey, now, I'm still
No.
on board.
Oh, somebody,
like,
You're not even thinking about me.
There's no action required by us on the review of these items. Correct. All right. We are not required to schedule the meeting.
No. So then, do I have a motion to adjourn?
I have a motion.
Oh, everybody
to adjourn.
does.
That's
That's
I'll
you?
let you
Okay.
do it. Go ahead. Go
Okay,
ahead.
and then Eric?
I will second that.
Do we have a third
I'll third it.
We'll third it.
for the chair?
Or, yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
all
Last but not
those,
least.
yeah, for our future chair, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay, we're adjourned at 5:58? 7?
Ish.
Ish?